Well, I was admitting fault, and now you're just rubbing my nose in it. So next time, I'm not going to tell you. Corey, you can't say that word when you're recording.
Oop.
Today, on This American Dice, we present the 5th episode of Masks. Brought in for their extreme scene at a high school assembly, these extreme teens are now locked up in jail. But exactly what trouble waits to break them out? Let's see. Today on Masks, Episode 5, here on This American Dice.
This issue begins with a shot of the exterior of like the county jail, or like the Halcyon City precinct, blah blah blah, and jail. And we see the inside, and there's like a narrow hallway that divides two sets of kind of big drunk tanky kind of cells. And in one, you see there's kind of some homeless people. There's a dude kind of who's passed out. There's some other tough-looking characters, and all of them seem to be adults. And then across the hall is, and this is just like an open hallway, so you guys can see into that other cell, are the heroes of our story, who might be the Action Cubs or the Action Punks.
Action Punks.
So yeah, you guys have been thrown in here, and you're kind of... I'm sure Alex and Leigh can tell us more about how maybe this process really works, but I'm just gonna say, like, you guys are waiting while they essentially like contact your, like, make sure to contact your parents and like get you kind of like that phone call to them.
Yeah, awaiting execution.
Yeah, you're awaiting your inevitable crucifixion. Halcyon City is severe.
Captain Football be yelling, "I get a meal! I get a last meal!"
So maybe that's what we see. Previously, we had seen...
I want sloppy joes.
Yeah. And there's that other homeless guy who kept talking about like songs, and he's like, Sloppy Joe was an amazing musical number bit by Adam Sandler with Chris Farley dressed as a lunch lady dancing around. That was a great bit. Funny as hell. I loved it.
Well, if you like that song, sir, you should try the hamburger. It's delicious.
It's hamburger. 2 all beef patties, special and he just starts singing McDonald's jingles. So Captain Football is yelling about wanting a last meal. There's like kind of a raving derelict responding back.
Listen,
Look at this one.
Is that our team pool, or you know what's going on with that?
I don't. I believe we haven't gone into like a battle, so our team pool at the start of a session is just 1, right? No, it's the number of characters.
No, we had it at 6 from before. I have no idea how I got to that, but I think after time passage, we set it back to 1. It seems like time passed, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. I'd argue that we probably had time having passed from the previous stuff, but yeah, certainly.
That's what I feel too.
So it seems like it's at 1. All right. Any other beginning business?
Oh, one other question. So I still have 3 conditions,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering, do those go away other than through special moves?
Well, if we said that time passed and that reduced your team, it would make sense if at least some of those conditions went away.
Nice.
So how many conditions do you have?
I'm insecure, guilty, and angry.
Insecure, guilty, and angry. Why don't you ditch 2 of them, and if anybody else has...
Okay, I'm still going to be angry.
If anybody else has conditions, they can ditch up to 2 of them as well.
Awesome.
Let's say that the first people that they're able to get a hold of for like a phone call is they're able to pull Shadow Boxer. They're able to pull Nora Knox out of the cell and be like, all right, we were able to get somebody on the line as a phone call for you. So like, since you guys are minors, they essentially contacted your parents, but they're also like allowing you to talk to them, and they basically say like, all right, you got 5 minutes. So Nora Knox has a 5-minute conversation. Would you rather the person they're talking to be your Aunt Maria or your dad? Because we had said that your Aunt Maria is kind of like living with you guys and helping out, and that your father is almost in like a depressive state.
Oh, right, yeah. Which one would I rather?
Yeah, who would be more interesting for you to have to talk to?
The dad. Go for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your dad gets on the phone and he has kind of like a tired voice, and he says like Nora, are you there? Are you all right? Your father, we had said, remember your mother had died, saving like a bus full of nuns. Your father also has superpowers, but instead had just chosen to live like a regular life. And after your mother's death has been like very depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why your aunt had been taking care of you guys. And so it kind of makes sense if they called home that Aunt Maria is actually doing stuff. Like, she's actually at work. Meanwhile, your dad is regularly just at home.
Mm-hmm.
So he asks, he asks when they give him the phone, I think like one of the officers is like, here she is, Mr. Knox. And he's like, Nora, is that you?
She's like, oh, yeah, it's me.
Are you all right?
Well, I've been better, I guess. I don't know if you heard what happened at school, but it's just crazy.
Nora, are you able to come home? Are they keeping you there?
No, they're keeping all of us, all my friends too.
What happened?
Well, I mean, they were just trying to, come down on one of my best friends for just having powers, and I just couldn't let that happen. They're going to arrest him. They're trying to blame us for all this stuff.
Nora, I just want you to stay safe, Nora. I just want you to come home. I'm gonna call your Aunt Maria and see if she can help us with this. We're gonna have to call a lawyer to get you out of there. We're gonna have to figure this out. And I think he's kind of like, I'm kind of laying it on thicker maybe than he is, but I think he's he lays it on pretty thick of just, he's so worried, and now this is so much stuff that they're going to have to do to get you out, and all he wanted you to do was just to be safe. So I think what he's trying to do is lower your danger and raise your mundane probably.
Yeah, I think I can handle that.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe she kind of, takes a moment, just like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do, Dad? I mean, like, you're going to take my friends away to prison. That's not right. That's not fair.
It's not. Yeah.
What's the person beneath, Dad? I mean, who can tell at this point?
So, are you trying to do a thing with that?
I'm trying to pierce the mask. Possibly.
I know. It seemed. I was like, Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll your. What is that? Superior?
No, my mundane.
You're mundane. All right. Well, you're better at that now.
Yeah. So like 11.
Got an 11. All right. So you get to ask 3 of those questions.
Heck yeah. Well, what I really want to know is, what do you want me to do, Papa?
How much of your superhero stuff does he know about? Because it was kind of implied that your Aunt Maria knew some of it, but I don't think we got into a ton of it.
Yeah, I guess maybe you would know, right?
Okay.
Would that be more interesting? Yeah. This is the last session. He probably knows, sure.
He doesn't want to lose you, like he lost your mom. So he wants you to be safe, and he doesn't want to lose you.
So he wants me to just stop doing that? Stop punching cops?
Yeah.
Weird, Dad.
Yeah, I know.
I guess, what does he... what does he intend to do?
He has to what he intends to do is to kind of like drag himself out of bed and try to figure out the process of getting you out of trouble. So that's his goal, is to figure out how to do that. But I'll add into that, he has to overcome that he feels like he can't do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough one for him to hump for him to get over.
This guy. All right, and then finally, how could I get that character to, I guess, try to get the whole team out? To get all of our backs.
If he were to see that, you guys being together was like safer for you, like that it would be more helpful for you to have all of your friends out as well, he could try to work toward that.
Gotcha. Well, I'm counting on you, Dad.
Your time has elapsed. And there's like a little light that goes off. The officer comes over to like take the phone from you and hang it back up. You kind of end up shambling back over to the rest of the folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Manateen, as you're waiting in here, what is like particularly uncomfortable to you as a manatid?
The bars are reminiscent of the zoo, the place where these humanoids often go and laugh at my kind.
Oh yeah, you remember a field trip that you guys had gone on earlier to like an aquarium and like a zoo and aquarium, and you have like a little flashback of this, and you see behind thick glass a manatee, and it puts its flipper up to the glass, and you put your hand up to it.
I remember him. We bonded.
Mm-hmm.
We had.
There was a student just yelling, "Fuck you, manatee! You belong in a prison!"
Yeah, that student was Captain Football for sure.
It was.
But yeah, no, that was Biff. Biff was like, "Look at this stupid fat fuck," like just like laughing at it. And yeah,
the humiliation that he had to endure was so similar to my experience at the high school where I'm supposed to be nurtured. My classmates, my teachers, my peers, all of them, they look down on me. They look down on our kind. Maybe I belong here. Maybe this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Ooh. I think this memory actually triggers something for you, that you end up taking a powerful blow.
Oh shit.
Does that jive? Does that make sense?
Sure. He's taking blows on he's got a blowhole, and that's a funny thing about manatids is that they are like manatees, but they also have blowholes. Gotcha. So when you said that, I didn't understand you, but now I do.
Okay.
All right.
So you just roll. Do you have any conditions?
Yes, I am. I'm feeling guilty.
So you're going to roll 2d6 and just add 1 to that.
Okay. So I'm going to... I got an 8.
Got an 8. Okay. So you're going to choose one from the take a powerful blow. This one's tough because it's like an internal thing that you're struggling against.
Yeah. I'm going to struggle through the pain, and I'm going to take 2 for... let's see. I'm going to take angry, and I'm going to take hopeless.
And how do we see, like, what's the outward reaction of Manateen / Fitzgibbons, as you're known?
What have I become?
You just yell, "What have I become?"
What have I become?
All right.
And, pacing among the along the bars, in severe distraught, and Manateen is kicks over. There's a tray of food, that is inedible to him. Just further proof of how misunderstood he is.
And that's, I think, where we kind of switch who we're focused on. And rather than one of our main characters, we instead see that as the stuff gets kicked over, you hear like, will you be quiet? My head is pounding and I'm tired of this. And there's a guy in like a shabby coat. He's got like a hoodie and like two other coats on top of that. And he smells really bad. You guys can smell him from like across that hallway. And he's got kind of a scruffy beard. And he's like, "Oh, you're so loud. Everyone's always yelling." And
I might.
I was going to say the person.
I recognize.
Is it Doberman and the pincher, but just the pincher?
Well, actually, that is correct. And
yes, nailed it.
I think the person who notices him, because they had kind of the most intimate or the most interaction with him, is Helix, or should we say Anna Villanova. So you recognize this person as as Doberman, but there is no dog to be seen. The pincher is not here, and this guy looks terrible. I'm imagining him as in like when you guys faced like a simulation of him in the Holodrome. I imagine he was played by Rutger Hauer.
Nice.
But now he's like got a pot belly and like a kind of scraggly beard, and he looks real rough. His eyes are all bloodshot, and he's clearly pissed himself. And a lot of self-urination in this game. But yeah,
not enough though.
Not enough. Not as much as I want. But he's like,
just wait for the grand finale.
Yeah, he's like, will you pups be quiet? Oh, you're making my head pound. I can't handle this.
Helix will walk up to the bars and say, "Doberman, is that you? What happened to did your pincher get pinched?"
Yeah, and I think Anya is probably the person closest to this, so maybe it's easier for her to hear when this guy starts yelling. But he's like, who are you? But who are you supposed to be?"
She says, "Well, right now we're just common criminals like you, apparently." Like looking around at her team.
And he like stood up to yell at you guys, and he just slumps back down, and he goes, "Yes, common, barely a criminal at all, merely common." And he kind of like puts his head down and looks down, crestfallen.
I'll say, "Oh, what's got you so down? I'm sure you'll be back on the streets wreaking havoc any hour now. Surely someone's coming to bail you out. Can't your dog scrounge up the money?"
And he I think he just says, he just kind of like turns himself away and says, I've heard enough out of you. Too much noise from you kids. It's been," and then he lists a number of weeks or months or whatever it was. Yeah, let's say months. It's been like, 4 months ago. And then you remember that was when you had that same episode that killed Buttons.
Oh no. So Anya put 2 and 2 together there and say Pincher didn't die a sudden, inexplicable, and horrible death about 4 months ago, did he?
And this guy turns around and says like I don't need to talk to you about this. Shut up. I don't have to hear. The only friend I ever had. Shut up, Shaiskov. And then he just kind of like puts his head in his hands.
He looks and say, "Hey, look, I know what it's like to lose your best friend, your truest companion like that. It's awful. And if I could undo it, I would for you. But that doesn't explain why you're here. Like, why? How did you end up in here? You've been here for 4 months."
He's like, why do you even care? But who are you?
She'll like take in the rest of her team, said, "Whoa, we're the action punks. Haven't heard of us?"
And he's like, "No, I've not heard of you, but then doesn't matter anyway. I think you are."
Nothing matters at all.
Yeah. I think
we're all just flotsam following the currents in this short life before death takes us.
I love it, man. I think Carl, David, tell me if this is wrong. Can you comfort or support an NPC?
Yeah, I think so.
You shift their labels on a clear condition. Okay, yeah. So Carl, I think you're either piercing this guy's mask and trying to like see what his deal really is, or you're attempting to comfort or support him.
Let's say I'm trying to get to know him better. Like I'm trying to pierce his mask.
Okay, cool. Well, either way, you'd be rolling mundane.
Cool. All right.
So go for it.
I got a 5.
Got a 5. So that's not good. Yeah. So this guy, he just, he kind of turns and says, "Oh no!" He does something real weird, which is
pees on us.
Oh yeah. At first, he starts kind of telling you this story. He starts explaining like there was a time that we were the most feared interspecies duo in the entirety of the city. We were showing everyone that man and dog could truly connect, could truly act as one and equals. And then, well, now I'm in here for smoking a cigarette and pissing on the subway.
I'll say, that seems like a pretty draconian punishment for that.
And as you're responding to that, he starts sniffing. Something here, one of you is not right. So one of you, I can smell something. Who are you really? Who are you, children?
Are you that dog fucker? The dog we killed? Captain Football has trouble distinguishing reality from fiction.
From all the dogs he's killed in spare time?
No, he just thinks that the simulation was like 100% real.
Yeah, like I struggled with not like addressing it as though it was real as well.
Maybe like Helix has given him the no eyes. But
that wasn't real, Captain Football.
But hold on, Captain Football's decided he's no longer in love with Helix on account of Helix betraying him at the big football stadium pep rally, and now he's in love with Nora Knox instead because she supported him. And Manateen's not his rival anymore. Helix is, so he's gonna come over and blow up her day.
Okay. And so Doberman is just like, you. He's like, you were the ones who killed my schnitzel. And he starts like. Well,
not both of us. I mean, I don't have flesh exploding powers like old Helix over here. You know.
Hey, Ball, come on.
Yeah, and I think he's like, it was you. And he's.
Listen, it was a mistake.
He's shaking at these bars and gnashing his teeth, and I think he actually.
Hey, when you get to hell, tell your dog hello for me. You know, because we kill him,
go to heaven.
and you're a bad guy, so you're definitely gonna go to hell. And the way in which we killed that dog, man, that was evil.
All right, and yeah,
you're like, not we. Yeah, just you.
Yeah. The Doberman is like thrashing at these bars, and I think he starts snarling and barking to a certain degree.
Oh, time to kill another dog. He like,
yeah. And one of the other like people in that cell is like, man, shut the hell up, you blah blah blah, and he like goes over to touch the Doberman. I think the Doberman just bites this guy really really hard, and takes like a big finger. Oh yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yeah, he goes to, this is getting dark. This guy goes to grab like the cuff of one of his several coats, and the Doberman just bites off 2 or 3 of this guy's fingers. And
he spits them into our jail cell.
Yeah, and he's barking. And this dude, of course, is bleeding tremendously. A bunch of the officers rush over, and they open this thing, and they're trying to tackle this guy.
Captain Football starts shouting at him and be like, "All right, Doberman, we can bring your dog back from the dead. Helix can do it. But you gotta tell us where the hell duck is." It's clear that Captain Football has like the loosest grasp on reality.
Okay. Well, while this is going on, wow. lost lost some opportunities with this guy. Okay.
Oh, I can try and like biokinesis his fingers back on. This is getting just too macabre.
I think we're gonna have this be the point where we hit the end of the last issue, where this is where all of a sudden two things happen. The first is that Manateen, you feel the like barometric pressure as a creature native to an aquatic environment. You're more attuned to pressure changes than the humans, and so you feel that like the pressure has changed. The barometric pressure has changed, and that's when you're like, the pressure, and that guy goes, "Under pressure" was the greatest duet ever sung. Like that guy's yelling about that, and
Having crazy deja vu. The rest of us in the cell.
Yeah. Right. And at the same time, of course, there's a window to the cell just with bars because,
Of course.
it's a comic book jail. And outside, you shadow boxer Nora Knox. You hear the squawk of Squawky, your pet hawk. Yeah, and we see like just a panel of like combat boots and like armored boots, like standing in a way that indicates that these two figures are looking at the jail from the outside.
All we see is a pair of boots.
Yeah, well, two pairs of boots, but yeah. And judging by how tough these boots look, these people are gonna be trouble.
Or it's like a horseman, right? And he's got 4 boots.
Oh
It
shit!
is
Damn it.
likely a horseman.
You ruined the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the feet are all like next to each other, like
Right,
all completely in a line.
Mhm.
I am Centrox.
Yeah, but then there's like just a dollop of horse shit that just hits the ground.
Yeah, but like there's 2 piles like between each set of feet.
Yeah, because there are 2 butts. We got it, Carl.
Yeah.
You don't need to spell everything out. So I think Nora are like closest to this window, and can Shadowboxer, can Squawky? Do you and Squawky like talk to one another?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, is that, can Squawky just like actually talk to you, or is it like conveys vague messages, or what's the deal?
He for sure talks like an 80s cartoon sidekick.
Okay, gotcha. What hilarious speech impediment or wacky catchphrase does he constantly utilize?
I mean, it's mostly just like a parrot, so.
Okay. But instead of just making a noise, it says squawk a lot.
Yeah, it's played by who played Iago and all that?
Gilbert Godfrey? Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you hear squawk!
So no speech impediments whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, just a beautiful singing voice.
Mhm.
So, squawk! SB, where are you?
Whoa, Squawky, is that you? Oh my gosh.
You gotta get out of there, SB. There's trouble ahead. It's gonna squawk you.
Yeah, so can I see who these boots are at this point? Squawky with these 2 figures? Or the centaur, perhaps?
Yeah, I think Squawky will like further explain, like I'm having a real trouble flying around, and try to like flap. But as Squawky tries to flap some, at first Squawky falls into the bars,
Mhm.
and then falls suddenly backwards. And if
Was it like a force field or something?
I think actually everybody. I think it's just you guys in here, so I don't know if this is gonna like necessarily hurt folks in the same way. All of a sudden, everybody falls down, but down is not down to the ground. Down is to the side of this wall. So it's all of a sudden like that became the direction of down, and everybody falls.
Yikes.
If you want to like grab onto stuff, you can, but I don't think people are hurt from this. At least not you guys. The chaos inside the other cell gets further bad because now Doberman, who is a snarling madman at this point and is fighting with these cops were certainly not expecting to suddenly have their entire direction of gravity suddenly shift on them. And so not surprisingly, this is going poorly for them at this point, because Doberman, as drunk and a shambles of a man as he is. He's still a supervillain. But yeah, so when that happens, you're able to. I think we could say that Nora's face like lands at the window. Nora and Manateen, like their faces land on the window, and you guys can see outside. And one person, there are two people that you can see. One is immediately recognizable. The other you've probably seen from like news reports.
It's a centaur.
Now I think there was even maybe there's even like a wanted poster on the like in the police station for this person. And there's wanted posters actually for both of them. In fact, the one person who's wearing like armor, like almost like Magneto-esque or Avalanche-esque armor, kind of, is a but generally shaped like a lady. Is there is being called Gravitron, and the other person is absolutely Canon Capt, who again, you hear like a sweet guitar riff.
Oh hell
and,
yeah!
Like aviators and like
he has
poking out of his sleeves.
Again, it's Nick Cannon, but trying to be Sylvester Stallone, and so he's got big aviators on both of his. He's got like crazy biceps, and on both arms are big cannons, like they'd be on like a pirate ship, and and he's smoking a cigar, and in fact, he uses that. He points towards the jail cell, and with that cigar, he lights one of the cannons. And any moment now, this bad boy's like, there's going to be a cannonball coming right at you.
All right, I've got a plan.
Oh shit.
Well, I think Manateen and Shadowboxer will get to react first because they kind of fell to where they can see what's going on.
Are there other people in the cell with us?
In the cell that you guys are in, that is the closer one to this, no, there aren't. But you could wager if a cannonball were to hit this, other people could get hurt. The problem is at the moment you're kind of in a cell removed from those other people.
So, yeah, I think Shadowboxer's first, or I guess Nora at this point, her first instinct is to kind of yell out, like, everybody get out! Or like, I don't know, what would be like, hunker down!
Okay. Would you say you're trying to defend the crew?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, dope. Manateen, what would you be interested in doing? Because
Manateen is going to leap in front of the cannon and try to take the shot.
Okay, so the two of you are trying to you're both trying to defend the other folks in here.
Yes.
Who has the higher savior?
My savior is -2. So.
-2. That's pretty bad. How about I'm gonna go ahead and wager Nora's isn't -2.
Correct. Yes. +2.
+2. That's pretty good.
Wow.
So
Sure.
let's see if Nora needs Manateen's assistance in this, and if that's the case, then that'll be an easy one to say that Manateen is helping out.
Makes sense. Looks like I'm good. I got a 12.
You got a 12. It's pretty good. All right. So when you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. On a 7, so you keep them safe. All right. So here's how this looks. A cannonball smashes into this, into like the wall of the building that is like the brick wall of your cell, and it's going to blow a massive hole in it. Normally, the shrapnel and other stuff would have definitely hurt people, but there's two things that go on, and I'll give you kind of like an extra thing towards this if you want. You're able to yell like, get down! And so everybody in your cell, like the rest of the action cubs / action punks, are able to hit the deck, and the cops are able to kind of hit the deck as well, as like a big hole is blown into this, like a hole the size of like a car door is blown in this wall. But one of the things that you notice is not as much debris came in here as you would have expected. So like your quick thinking really, really helped people, but you're like, that's weird. I expected us to get at least badly hurt. by that. So if you were to want to assess if somebody was to want to assess a situation, you or they could get a +1 to that roll, given how awesome you just did with that.
Yeah. Manateen, do you want to do that?
Yeah. Rolling 2d6.
Yeah, and add your superior to it.
Okay, I got an 11.
Pretty good. All right, so on an 11, you can ask 2 of the questions from the assess the situation list.
Yeah, so what here is the biggest threat?
Probably Cannon Cop and Gravitron are the 2 biggest the big threat here. Again, Cannon Cop was until very recently one of the Super Squad members and is thus theoretically a very powerful superhero. And then Gravitron also is connected to, like, has like a bunch of wanted posters up, and maybe you can even like read some of it that say like in all of these various like organized crime related assaults, or like in all these assaults connected to organized crime.
Gotcha. All right.
So that's one of your questions, but you get to ask 2.
How could we best end this quickly?
How can you best end this quickly?
The answer is always the same. Kill them.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you don't quite know a ton of what's going down right now. So to end it quickly, the odds are you'll have to give these guys what they want. If you want to end it very quickly, whatever these guys say, probably do that thing.
Yeah, roll over, play dead.
Yeah, pretty much. That sucks, but that's the best way to end it very, very quickly.
All right.
Yes.
But yeah, so pretty soon the world returns like regular down, traditional normative down becomes down again, and you guys get your heads kind of spin for a second. I think Manateen experiences that less because Manateen is more used to a aquatic environment, and so that's not as weird. But for everybody else, that change is very strange. And Cannon Cop puts his hands on his hips, and again, it's Nick Cannon doing a Sylvester Stallone impression. And he just says, like,
"You kids just gonna stand there or what?"
Helix says, "Are you here to kill us?"
Kid, if I wanted to kill you, you'd already be dead.
Captain Football would just be like, awesome.
Helix be like, but you turned. We saw the report. You turned against the city.
He's like,
Not against the city. Against the scum. Now are you coming? Because this train's about to go.
Oh, all aboard.
All aboard on the scum train. Here we go.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta get rid of some scum. You gotta see the scum we've been getting rid of, Loose Cannon Cop. We've been getting rid of it all over here. And we get it in both ends from these mayors.
and he kind of turns.
And you see that scum over there, the Doberman guy? Helix killed his dog. Look, he's so mad about it.
Helix is gonna like try and very like.
Now, Captain Football, there's nothing funny about that. That was a tragic necessity that we had to do in the face of very stupid, dumb situation.
Oh, I'd have killed him again.
Because,
I'd have punched that dog.
Technically, it was more of just like a nightmare that got out of control.
I think that as you guys are kind of, and you guys have yet to leave the cell, or you guys are just kind of hanging out. Hold on, I think this is what goes on. I think outside you see like a few, maybe like 5 or 6 police officers like run out there and be like, "Free! Like hey, it's Cannon Cop. That guy's wanted. Oh, be careful. Put your hands up." And Gravitron, who is a woman, is just like, I told you, we gotta. This is taking forever. We gotta either ditch these brats or something. Come on. And she kind of like raises her hands, and I think all the cops fall backwards as if the building was down. And
Whoa.
I think you guys. No. I don't think this does that to you guys. I think you
Because we
guys are
don't.
okay.
Because we don't believe in gravity.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
Yeah, we're
gravity works.
unaffected by its whims.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
the Earth's flat.
They-
Oh god. We're gonna
I was
bleed over.
imagining it worked like Wile E. Coyote rules, where if you just don't acknowledge it.
All right.
But yeah, so
Before-
they all fall like kind of backwards, as if the building was down, and Canon Cop says to her,
Careful there. Not too rough.
so
You kids coming or what?
I'm in.
Anya will scoop up the Doberman's fingers
coming.
if no one's watching her, put them in her pocket, and then
Well, they're
step out of the jail cell.
well, they're not Doberman's fingers; they're the fingers Doberman bit off of another guy.
That's what I meant to say.
That's terrifying, but okay.
This is a big plot point. It'll come around later.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, so Anya's like, give me these severed fingers. This is a children's show. But yeah, so Anya grabs these fingers. Meanwhile, there's like a big fight going on in the background. As again, you hear Doberman barking, and you guys kind of are about to go, and he's got there's a big SUV outside. Or what would be the coolest tough guy car for him to have that all of you could fit in, that 6 people could fit in?
What if it's literally just another Black Cutlass Supreme?
I don't want that to. I wouldn't want it to be confusing.
What about like a limo style Mustang?
It's a Mustang, but yeah,
Or
it's
a-
huge.
Or
It's
a
like
limo
what
Hummer.
Rodimus Prime converts into when he becomes Rodimus Prime.
Um,
There's a Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, like when Hot Rod becomes the Prime. Come on, idiots.
Erogenous Prime. Thank you. Yeah. So he's got a crazy.
A Hummer stretch limo. What about that?
Yeah, that's Hummer limo.
Sure, it's just like a slightly extended Hummer that's like all tricked out with kind of crazy stuff. Where it's like, is that a tank?
Yeah, and a Confederate flag on it.
And he's like, that's it. There it is.
But yeah, so he's like, come on, and he goes to like open the door, and as you guys are coming, that's when you see it bounding towards you on all fours as if he has become a beast is the Doberman.
Awesome.
Oh, I've got something for this.
I've got something for this.
Okay.
Too.
So as I turn and see the Doberman is coming after us, presumably with violence in his eyes,
Oh, absolutely. He looks like a mad beast. He's frothing at the mouth.
I'm going to take one of the fingers that I scooped off the floor, and I'm going to lovingly but quickly and deftly craft it into a perfect replica of the pincher at finger size and animate it and then set it on the ground and have it run toward him and give him a hug.
It's awful, Carl.
That's almost too insane.
I am a hero marked by extraordinary explosive power.
That's true. I guess that's you unleashing your powers. But go ahead and roll plus freak. Helix.
I do have a power called Construct where I can animate flesh.
Okay, do you need to do your burn thing first to do that?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to do that?
I do. Really
Okay.
do. Alright, let's see. I got 10 without any modifiers.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so I will use one of those burns to do this. Spend one burn to create any object with your powers up to the size of a person. Spend an additional burn to animate it independently of yourself. So I have 3 burn, and I spend 2 on that.
Okay, yeah, so you create this a small version of the pincher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yeah, you know what? I think that's got to have a big effect. And he's coming and he's bounding towards you like James McAvoy in that one scene in that terrible movie, barking and doing this. And again, he's dressed kind of like a central casting homeless person. And then when this like small, I'm imagining like stuffed animal size. Oh no, because it's a finger, right?
Yeah, it's the size of a finger.
Okay, so it's an incredibly small version, and he almost doesn't see it, and it like barks up to him, and he like looks down at it, and he's like, Schnitzel, and and so yeah, he's definitely totally stopped, and
And then the finger will say in an almost lifelike voice, Doberman, I love you. I missed you so much.
and he scoops it up in his hands, and he's looking at it, and he's like, what is happening? And I think that Cannon Cop goes over to this guy and he just grabs him, and like this guy's trying to hold on to the little dog, and he just grabs him and he stuffs this cannon kind of like in his chest, and he says like,
You know, scum like you are the problem.
and I think he takes a big puff on this cigar,
Oh no.
and
Is that
I
his
think-
lighting mechanism?
I think he's gonna blast this dude at point blank range with a cannon.
Awesome.
I'll say, Cannon Cop. He's not a threat. He has everything he wants. Look at that adorable finger dog.
All he had to do was commit a bunch of crimes, kill, rip off a man's fingers. Apparently, I don't know how I know that. All he had to do was be bad at being a criminal to get everything what he wants.
And he looks like, Cannon Cop, what happened to you? The heroes are supposed to have a code in this city. You always told us to act in defense of the law.
Sounds like you're piercing his mask.
Yeah, I'm gonna pierce it extra hard.
Do it.
And I just roll 2d6 plus or minus what?
That is mundane.
All right, I got a total of 10.
Total of 10. Pretty good. So you get to ask 3 of those questions.
All right, let me find them real quick. First question: is this the assess this? Wait, no, pierce the mask. Got
Pierce
it.
the mask, yeah.
How can I gain influence over you?
How could you gain influence over him?
I know he's like a way higher tier than me, so if the answer is
Yeah.
just not possible.
No, I think show him you're committed to doing whatever it takes to really stop crime.
Okay. Second question: how can I get your character to let Doberman go?
I think if you show him that this guy, because it seems like Cannon Cop is just gonna kill this dude, and which in the past, I think you guys know the story of Cannon Cop. Is Cannon Cop was almost like a Captain America type character, but except he was Halcyon City's like greatest hero cop. And at some point, he went from just being like a regular cop. Everybody knows that he was Sergeant. Everybody knows that he was Sergeant Luke Bloodsworth. He went from being just regular old amazing hero cop Sergeant Luke Bloodsworth to a superhero cop with cannons on his arms. In order to like stop the mob, but now he's changed and he's more like a Punisher kind of character. And if you could show this guy that, like in the past he didn't kill, this is new. If you could show him that, in this instance, that Doberman is like he's already dead inside, this guy would definitely be like,
You're not worth it.
All right, third and last question: what are you really planning?
They specifically busted you guys out of jail, and you're listening to what he's saying about this stuff, and you can tell he wants your help with really getting rid of some bad guys.
All right.
But again, to him, that will mean killing them. Like you can infer that very easily. So he wants your help to get rid of some villains.
Cool. And Helix will just be like, no, it doesn't seem like he's any threat to you. Tell us, Cannon Cop, what should we do here? Like, what's the right thing to do?
And he's like, right thing to do. Don't just keep locking these guys up in a box they can get out of. The only box they deserve is a coffin.
I say, but wouldn't he still be in the box if you hadn't blown it open?
So, and you're trying to stop him from killing this guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like you are provoking him.
Ooh, okay. What do I roll for that?
To provoke someone, when you provoke someone susceptible to your words, and I think the way you just put that, he is susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get them to do, not kill him is what you want him to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then roll plus superior.
All right, I got a total of... You're not going to believe this, but I got a 10 again.
You got a 10 again. All right. He just, he looks at this guy and says, he just says,
You'd be a waste of ammo.
and he pushes him down and says,
Come on, kids. We got bigger bucks to hunt.
All right, nice. Helix will go along without complaint as the
All
dog yaps in the background.
Yeah, and he's like sitting there. And do you guys get in this like gigantic hump tank?
Totally.
Yeah. Although Captain Football will be like, wait, by bucks, does he mean people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Nora gets in very reluctantly.
Manateen, are you down?
Yes, I'm down.
But yeah, so you guys all get into this thing, and yeah, it's like a serious tank, and I think he's driving it, and the last person to get in is Gravitron, and she kind of like hops in, and as you guys speed away, all these cops kind of try to right themselves, and they're not superheroes, so some of them like barf because of like the shift in their like whole equilibrium. But yeah, you guys are kind of speeding down various streets, and you're sitting in like the back area with Gravitron, and you can see in this place there's like a ton of dope weapons, like it's like a real 90s kind of a thing, like Deadpool or the Punisher, which he basically is now, like has this car.
Nice.
And I think Gravitron, when she's in this vehicle, she kind of says like that was taking too long. I can't believe it. It was you said it would only take a second to get these youngins, to get these little Joeys in there. I was originally English, but now I'm Australian. Fuck it. Take a drink. Like,
Be patient, kid. Don't worry.
And Gravitron's supposed to be like you said like a mob enforcer in the past?
the stuff, probably like news reports that you had heard were like stories about someone who had like, that they like, police are calling this person Gravitron because superheroes exist, and why not do that kind of a deal? Like, but there were news stories and wanted posters that related to like assaults and various other crimes committed, that were often connected with organized crime.
Okay, so more against than with them, right?
It sounds like you're maybe piercing this person's mask. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Awesome. So we, Nora Knox and Gravitron, since Nora Knox got in the car reluctantly, maybe she and Gravitron are next to each other.
Yeah, so maybe she'll just say that exact thing, like, "Oh, I thought you were on the bad side of things, but I did roll an 11,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll ask you some different questions too."
Oh, and if that's like the first thing that you actually say, I think she says, "Not anymore, kid. Not anymore."
What are you really planning?
Sure. So I think you kind of watch her over, and she'll, after saying like "not anymore," she'll at some point be like, there's some real bad folks in this city. It's a shame that they're always going after folks who are too weak to defend themselves. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen to me, and it's not going to happen to anybody else. We're going to stop these. We're going to stop these buggers. And and I think that she and Canon Cop kind of go through a back and forth of like I think Canon Cop chimes in and will tell you like
There's a big operation going on today. We needed a little backup. You're that backup.
and she says, "Oh yeah, we got."
Wait, back up for a second. What are you talking about?
She's like, we gotta stop two dastardly devils from making sure from stealing something that'll really change up the whole city. We gotta stop these.
We can't just kill them, though. You can't just kill people. That's against the rules. It's like, if you can't play by the rules, what kind of football player are you? No?
Canon Cop says,
Say the game, kid. This one's for keeps.
Yeah, but you're in like an outfit. Of course it's a game. Like, come on. You're smoking a cigar. Like, you got the sunglasses. Her name's Gravitron, for Christ's sake. It's a game. We might as well play to win, you know? Like by the rules?
But.
Yeah. And I think she'll, and this is where she'll finally fully answer your question. She'll be like, and some of you may remember this character from another game. She'll just say like, Snakes in his holes doesn't play by the rules, and if we're gonna stop him from taking Awful Defender's powers, neither can we.
Taking Awful Defender's powers? Why would you do that?
And again, Ken Cop is driving, but he's doing it in a really cool way. And you guys are going down like all kinds of crazy alleyways that you're like, that car would be too big to go into that alley. This doesn't make sense. They're shooting this poorly if it's a TV show, or like animating it badly to scale in a comic book.
Wait, is he steering with his cannons? Like
he's steering with his
That's
hands.
amazing.
He's got cannons like on the thing, but he's like.
Oh, I thought his hands were made out of cannons.
I thought about that, but I was like, it's too insane if I want this character to be even remotely relatable.
He could have 4 arms. 2 of them are cannons.
That's true. But yeah, you can see that he's kind of like, he seems to be trying to like lose any possible tails that might be following you guys. And so he's driving through like crazy, like back streets, and you're going to go through some real rough areas. But yeah, you've still got several more questions on that roll, right, Deej?
Yeah, 2 more at least.
I'm sorry, right, Nora Knox?
Mm-hmm. And who's trying to steal Awful Defender's power?
She had said, Gravitron had said, she said snakes in his holes, and whichever one of you knows most about superheroes, which kind of would make sense to be Nora. Dr. Snakes in his holes is like a mad scientist.
He looks to say, what's so horrible about Dr. Snakes in his holes that he made you break your code?
I would say, like, I think he'll say, like,
He's not the one. It's his kind. They won't stop till they get what they want.
What's he want?
so.
Power. We gotta stop him.
Listen, we can't stop it. We're just as bad as he is. We can't use these gesturing to all these guns and stuff. I assume samurai swords.
Yeah. Nunchucks.
What does he even want Awful's powers for, anyway? If he's a snake, he's got his own powers.
We can't. Sometimes, once you've lost your path, if you've violated your own code, you need to find a new code. Cannon Cop.
Yeah, like a wildcat offense after you get 2 quarterbacks. One of them's not doing so good.
Don't listen to him.
You gotta switch
brain
it up.
Do not listen to him. His brain is very flat. It's
Yeah,
tremendous. I have no problem working with you, but you are tremendously stupid.
You know what? I used to think you were my rival, Manateen, because I thought you were disgusting to look at, and your voice, it made me nauseous to hear you speak. But now I don't think you're so bad. So I don't mind you saying all those things because you're a true team player.
Oh, thank you. I think it's really because
I still feel a little nauseous, actually. I'm sorry, but I like the cut of your chip.
Do we think that Captain Football is trying to comfort or support Manateen?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
He's very bad at that, and he's
Please.
angry, so it's going to be even worse.
Go ahead and roll plus mundane.
2d6?
Yes, 2d6 plus whatever your mundane score is.
But it's going to be, sorry. I think there's something where when you're angry and you're trying to comfort someone, you do it worse. It's like on the move. Oh, I rolled a 12 though. I rolled a natural 12. So that's
hell yeah.
Hey, you like me now, Manateen? I just comforted you.
Yeah.
You're very comforted right now. When you comfort or support someone, and they hear you, they mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they open up to you.
So what was your mundane before?
Oh, hold on. My mundane is -2, and I'm angry.
-2. Okay, so you get the 7 to 9 result. So you still hit it. You just got the lesser hit. So on a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift their labels. If they open up to you. So if Manateen has anything to, if Manateen can open up in some kind of way to Captain Football here, some kind of emotional way or another.
Yeah,
then,
like maybe about how disgusting his voice is, or like why he looks so stupid all the
How
time.
ashamed of his body he is, like every other teenager.
Yes.
I think that we are a good team, but we're a good team because we have a strong leader.
Thank you.
And I think that Wade, although you might sometimes have tremendous lack of foresight and thoughts, it might also be your greatest strength. And we make a very good team because I probably think more than I should, and you do enough not thinking for the both of us.
Oh man, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. You know, earlier in prison, my dad wouldn't even take the call. You know, but hearing that from you now, it makes all of this made it worthwhile to me.
All right.
I think maybe if Cannon Cop had a
Your
friend
dad
like
is
you, he wouldn't have turned out like the way he did.
Your dad if your dad didn't take your call, it's because of this probably this trait you inherited of him also just being tremendously stupid.
Oh well, I appreciate you saying that.
All right. So, Shadowboxer still has 2 questions to ask of Gravitron, right? Or no, you just
sure.
Let's make it 20.
Yeah, too.
So you already asked 2?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your last question over here? Or if you have one, I can keep the scene going if you want, but
I was trying to angle for my second question to ask her how we can convince them not to use these guns.
Oh, for her? So her answer to that is like, she basically says like we're gonna need them if we want to stop these people. So like we're gonna need them if we want to stop these blokes. We're gonna need them if we want to stop these buggers, right, mate? And you can tell that she doesn't feel completely confident that what they're trying to do they can do, and she wants every she doesn't want to be at any kind of disadvantage. That's her deal here. So if it could be shown that she's not at a disadvantage at all, she has very much the upper hand, then it'll be like, yeah, we don't need these.
And how could I gain influence over her?
How could you gain influence over her?
Was this your 4th question, though?
That's my 3rd.
Oh.
Prove to her.
3rd and final.
Prove to her that she is not weak.
Okay, good. So I think Nora Shadowboxer is going to say, we don't need these. Did you look at us. I'm just a great martial artist, one of the best around. Captain Football's over here. How many championships you have?
Oh,
2, 3 maybe?
At least, and if we haven't been disqualified from that 3rd one, then, maybe 3.
Yeah, 2.5.
And hey, look at Helix. There's not one dog that he won't kill, no matter what. And Manateen,
I don't deserve any praise. I've been a failure and an absolute coward. I've let my people down when my biology teacher was discussing the frailty of marine life. I let my people down.
See,
clearly
there's no one more
modest.
Yeah, and
there's no one more
like you're in.
Above or below the ocean.
His voice sounds like the inside of fishes are speaking.
So that's
See, based on that, you don't need guns. You have all 4 of us.
But he's got a good heart.
Thank you, Wade. I feel very understood by you.
So I think that you found that thing already from the Pierce the Mask stuff. So you could, I guess, that could be Are you trying to provoke her?
Yeah, if you feel she's susceptible to that. But if not, I'm okay with that rousing speech.
Are you maybe trying to comfort or support your teammates, or comfort and support her?
Oh yeah,
Can you do
yeah,
that?
whichever one you think.
I
I was aiming for provoke, but if any of those other ones make more sense, go for it.
Because you gave that whole speech about everybody, and I don't want to have it be like one roll affects everyone necessarily, because I don't think that's how it's meant to be. Yeah, let's do the provoke thing. So go ahead and roll your plus superior.
Wow. I'm never gonna get XP. It's terrible. So I got a 12 on that.
All right. She just kind of stares off for a minute and just says, like, all right. Well, maybe picking you up wasn't a bad idea. And she'll like hit a button and the panels will close, and so the guns are away. Why not? Yeah. Because the other less visual would be her going, I guess I won't use these guns.
Yeah.
Just does that as a visual.
With this active willpower, I will no longer look at them.
Yeah,
Not being on
exactly.
screen.
Then I think we see a shot of from the rear view mirror of Canon Cop, and we just hear him say,
You're bringing a knife to a gunfight, kid.
So
I'm bringing a football to the gunfight.
I'm bringing a finger to a gunfight.
"All right." So I think he pulls into like this garage,
And he's like, everybody out.
Thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of This American Dice, our 5th episode of Masks. The cast for this episode includes Leigh as Captain Football, Alex as Manateen, David as Shadow Boxer, and Carl as Helix. Additional music for this episode included Amor and BFIAHH by Cowpay, and The Musical Stylings of Austin, who is also your game master. Be sure to join us for another episode next week of This American Dice.
before we forget, because that always happens, and then half an hour in, it'll be like, at the start of the session, I'm supposed to get a new crossbow.
We all go home and Manateen goes to federal prison.
Yeah, Manateen sent to the research facility where he's dissected.
Marine.
SeaWorld.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's the Moat Marine vivisection tent. Yeah, they don't tell you about that on the field trips.
Nothing matters at all.
Yeah, I think
We're all just flotsam following the currents in this short life before death takes us.
Can't hear you, Manateen.
The mute function is a complicated button.
Yes, we only have the one flipper. It's a very precise keystroke.
Hey everybody, if you could please rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher, it would really help This American Dice. And for every 5-star review we receive, we'll read it on air. Join us next week for another episode of This American Dice.
Carl, you can't say that word when you're recording.
Oop.